Welcome to my views and news. Some new stories for you from Ethiopia, Eritrea, and Sudan in this news bulletin. Firstly, we have a small clip of Ethiopian PM Abiy. He's fond of comparing Ethiopia and the US, and we have to report because his comparison is sometimes very lopsided. So that is why we have to report what he's saying. A few days ago, he compared dependence on food aid in Ethiopia and food stamps in the US. And now a new video of the Prime Minister being shared, which shows the Prime Minister speaking about American women, that American women are not economically empowered. Secondly, TPLF, Tigray People's Liberation Front, has held a 4-day long meeting of its central committee. Some decisions have been made, resolutions have been passed. The party is still ineligible to contest any election in Ethiopia. What was the meeting about? The party issued a statement at the end of this meeting. Thirdly, an Eritrean opposition group has held some meetings with a political party in Sweden. Videos, pictures are being shared. And fourthly, rapid support forces are using drones in Khartoum. Who provided drones and munitions for these drones to rapid support forces? Evidence is being shared showing UAE's involvement. Secondly, airstrikes outside Khartoum for the first time since this war started on the 15th of April. And thirdly, West Darfur governor killed. Last night I reported that West Darfur governor had been abducted by rapid support forces. What happened after that? Firstly, viewers, Prime Minister of Ethiopia compares Ethiopia with the US a lot. By the way, I think last year he said there would be two global powers in the world in next few years, US and Ethiopia, I think. So he's fond of comparing Ethiopia and the US. Just this week he said that equal to half of Ethiopian population people in US were dependent on food aid, on food stamps. So if in Ethiopia people are relying on food aid, it isn't something extraordinary. I did a video on that because you cannot compare food stamps in the US and in Ethiopia. Ethiopia is reliant on food aid being given to Ethiopia by the US, by UN. Whatever is happening in the US, it is being done, it is being provided by the US government to the people of US. Now, another statement from the Prime Minister. He compared Ethiopian women and American women. He claimed American women are not economically empowered. They only appear on TV. They have right to appear on TV. So it seems as if they are fully economically empowered, which is not the case. Now, you can argue about how empowered women are in the US. But there is no comparison between Ethiopia and US. When PM Abiy came to power after he took office, yes, women participation increased. We cannot deny that. More women were appointed to top positions in Ethiopia. Women got more share at the parliament, at cabinets. Some women are leading from the front, like Addis Ababa Mayor Adnach Ababe and other PP leaders too. But can we say that Ethiopian government of the Prime Minister has empowered Ethiopian women? Economic empowerment and political empowerment are linked. That is how I see the empowerment of women. if women cannot freely contest elections, if they cannot be elected as representatives of their communities, they are not empowered, no matter how many are appointed to top positions. We know what is the criteria for appointments. Criteria is loyalty. Criteria is not strict merit. Problem is that in Ethiopia, women are not politically empowered. PM Abiy's government did not take any big decisions to empower women politically. Even opposition parties are not allowed to work freely. Opposition is in a disarray. Opposition politicians like Baklegarwa, they are abroad. Some who are in Ethiopia, they are not allowed to speak freely. Those who criticize the government are being arrested. Women journalists, Miyaza Mahmoud arrested thrice. Several others are still in prisons. So can you say women are empowered in Ethiopia? And should you compare Ethiopian women empowerment and American women empowerment? Yes, there could be deficiencies in America in terms of women empowerment, but no comparison. PM Abiy should not compare Ethiopia with the US. This is not the time for Ethiopia to make such ridiculous comparisons. Ethiopia needs to do a lot. And Ethiopian government can only deliver if it has this realization that it is behind. If it believes that it is at par with the US, it means the government is under some false impression that it has empowered women. Women are enjoying all the rights and benefits which other women enjoy in other parts of the world. That is not what the case is in Ethiopia. By the way, how many women were raped in Ethiopia in the 2-year-long war? Did you see anyone held accountable in Ethiopia? What was Tigray saying a few months ago? Tigray was saying tens of thousands of women had been raped. What did Filson say about violence against women? Did you see anyone held accountable by the government? Did you see any independent investigation into war crimes committed against women? Nothing happened. Rather, the government is claiming it is empowering women. By the way, it's not just women. Other sections of society are also being not empowered. Political empowerment is prerequisite for economic empowerment. Since there is no genuine opposition parties, no genuine political opposition being allowed to work freely, it means there is no empowerment. And economy is being controlled by the government. The government can appoint anyone to any position. Criteria is only loyalty. So that is how I see the women empowerment in Ethiopia and the US. PM Abiy again making comparison which he shouldn't, I think. Take a listen to what he said about women empowerment in the US.
Economically empowered የሆነች ሴት ዓለም ላይ የለችም። አሜሪካ ያለው በሚዲያ የመናገር መብት ያላት ሴት ናት እንጂ በጓዳዋ ኢኮኖሚካል ኢምፓወርመንት ገና ስንት ላይ ይጠበቅባቸዋል። አሜሪካ ውስጥ እኮ ሴት ፕሬዝዳንት መሆን አይችልም። ሆኖ ያውቃል እንዴ?
Secondly, was Tigray People's Liberation Front has held a 4-day long meeting. TPLF, major party, political party in Tigray, was declared a terrorist party in 2021. TPLF and OLA were put on terrorist lists. Then this year, after the signing of Pretoria deal, Ethiopian parliament re-voted and removed TPLF from terrorist designation, but TPLF still remained ineligible to contest elections. TPLF asked the National Election Board of Ethiopia to restore TPLF's status as a political party. TPLF demanded that its properties seized by the government be returned to it, but Nebbe refused to reinstate TPLF as a political party. Nebbe cited some legal and technical challenges. NABE raised some technical and legal issues that it wasn't possible to restore TPLF, and NABE asked TPLF to apply for a new registration. TPLF's properties were not freed as well. TPLF rejected the decision. Tigray interim government rejected the decision. We saw statements from TPLF calling the decision a violation of Pretoria deal. NABE gave 1 month time period to TPLF to apply for a new registration. Reportedly, Tigray People Liberation Fund did not apply for a new registration. Rather, some individuals tried to get a party registered by the name of TPLF. They requested NABE to register a party with the name of TPLF. NABE rejected that request by some individuals. Who are the individuals? Was TPLF behind those individuals, or some anti-TPLF, anti-Tigray elements who tried to have a party registered by the name of TPLF? But NABE rejected their application by a party which was claiming to be TPLF. 1 month time period given by NABE has ended. TPLF did not apply for new registration. Rather, TPLF wrote letters to international community, to African Union, that those who guaranteed Pretoria deal should play their part. Some meetings have been held, nothing happened, and now TPLF has held an internal meeting. 4-day long meeting of TPLF's Central Committee was held. Discussions were held, some decisions were made, resolutions were passed, and at the end of the meeting, the party issued a statement. Party says that Pretoria deal is being implemented. Developments after Pretoria deal are promising, but NABE, National Election Board of Ethiopia's decision is an obstacle to the implementation of Pretoria deal. First main point raised by TPLF in the statement is NABE's decision. TPLF says it will continue political and diplomatic struggle. It means it won't start legal proceedings, only political and diplomatic struggle, and that NABE's use of legal and technical interpretations is false, is incorrect. It's a politically motivated decision. That is what people have said a few days ago, not in this statement. And the party mentions the plight of the areas which are still under the control of forces which are non-ENDF forces. The party asked Ethiopian federal government that federal government should discharge its responsibility and expel invaders from Tigray. Thirdly, the party spoke about suspension of aid. We know that food aid delivery has been suspended to Tigray, to entire Ethiopia by USAID World Food Programme. Party says that suspension of food aid to Tigray is tantamount to announcing a death sentence for Tigrayans. Aid should resume immediately. And the party is asking Tigrayans to be united to continue this struggle for survival. Now, a message from the TPLF is very clear. It wants restoration of its political status. It is sending messages to the federal government through these meetings that it won't apply for a new registration under a new name. It wants same name. It wants all its properties back too. And what about parties' bank accounts? How much money was there? And is the money still there, or the bank accounts have nothing? That's not clear. And who is in control of parties' properties? These are very important questions, viewers. If TPLF is no more a party registered, at least its assets should be returned. But even assets of the party have not been returned so far. So that is why party is only issuing statements, holding meetings, writing letters. If there is no solution found, we could see the TPLF change gears. It might start some street movements. It might adopt other means of putting pressure upon Ethiopian federal government. Thirdly, viewers, an Eritrean opposition group has held some meetings in Sweden. Name of this group is Bright Future Movement. Bright Future Movement was formed in 2016, I think. Relatively new opposition group. Its chairman Bijine was in Sweden this week. He came from the Netherlands, and in Sweden he held some meetings with Swedish Liberal Party leaders. Bright Future Movement is more active in Europe than in US. And we saw that in Europe, Eritrean opposition parties, Bright Future and others, they managed to form a front against Eritrean government-backed diaspora. Several events in Germany, in the Netherlands, other parts of Europe were cancelled. Why? Because opposition party activists protested outside the venues of Eritrean government organized festivals. Abiy Said, Eritrean artist, when he visited Europe last year, we saw that Eritrean opposition groups, they tried to protest. They tried to get all the programs of Abiy Said cancelled. And Abiy Said faced stiff resistance from Eritrean opposition diaspora. Bright Future Movement is one of this, one of the members of this united opposition front, which is taking shape in Europe. But this unity is missing in America, where we could not see any major opposition to Eritrean government-backed festivals, programs organized in different parts of the US and Canada this year and last year. Watch a video showing Bright Future Movement chairman Bijine holding a meeting with some Swedish lawmakers. Reportedly, video from this week. Thirdly, viewers, rapid support forces in Sudan are using drones. Which types of drones, which types of munitions are being used by rapid support forces? Sudanese army is claiming to have shot down a drone being used by rapid support forces. You can see pictures on your screen. This is the drone shot down by Sudanese military, commercial drone, not military drone. A commercial drone, but it is able to fire mortar shells. This commercial drone being used by rapid support forces was equipped with 120 mm TB thermobaric airdrop shells. It was shot down near Khartoum. The question is, who gave these shells to rapid support forces? Similar drones were seen in Yemen and in Ethiopia. Though Ethiopia later bought modern combat drones like Turkish TB2s and Winglongs from the UAE. UAE was involved in Ethiopia. It backed Ethiopian government. It gave combat drones to Ethiopian government. UAE is involved in Yemen too. Again, UAE is accused of backing rapid support forces, and drones are in operation in Khartoum. A few days ago, in April, I think, in April, I shared a video on this channel which was published by Sudanese military. Sudanese military in April captured ammunition from a weapon store being used by rapid support forces. That video showed the same airdrop shells which were captured by Sudanese military in April after the start of the war. These shells are made in Serbia reportedly, and UAE bought these shells from Serbia. Question, viewers, is can we say that UAE provided these airdrop shells to rapid support forces? Well, we'll have to dig deep into this news, because there might be a possibility that Sudan bought these airdrop shells, Sudan's military, in the past, and rapid support forces became part of the military, though they were separate, but they were there working with military. So maybe they got these weapons, these shells from Sudan's military before the start of the war. If Sudan's military did not buy any such weapons from any government in the past, it means that RSF acquired these airdrop shells from somewhere, and obviously it seems UAE is involved, supporting rapid support forces, it seems. Secondly, for the first time, Sudanese military, Sudanese Air Force has conducted strikes outside Khartoum. Since the start of this war, Sudanese Air Force conducted strikes only on Bari, North Khartoum, Omdurman, and Khartoum Central. But yesterday, Sudanese Air Force conducted strikes on Al Ubays. Al Ubays is in Kordofan, I think North Kordofan. And yesterday I reported that in western part of Al Ubays, clashes erupted between rapid support forces and Sudanese military. RSF already in control of roads to the east and west of Al Ubays, because Al Ubays is situated along a very strategic route which links Darfur with Khartoum. So for the first time, Air Force is being used in Kordofan to buy Sudanese military side. Thirdly, was Darfur, West Darfur governor has been killed. Last night I reported his capture by rapid support forces. RSF abducted West Darfur governor Khamis Abubakar, and we saw a video of Khamis Abubakar when he was arrested by rapid support force members. And RSF Major General Abdul Rahman Juma was seen with West Darfur governor when West Darfur governor Khamis was abducted by rapid support forces. Then several RSF-backed activist news outlets confirmed that Khamis had been captured by RSF, and later he was killed. He was killed. So he was a POW, prisoner of war. If it is a war, you cannot kill a POW, especially high-profile POWs. RSF will have to answer the questions. RSF claims to be working for democracy, working for protection of human rights in Sudan. But you see that prisoners of war, high-profile, are being executed by rapid support forces. Thank you for watching.